Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is, well, sort of the MRC show that never ends, but it's a special one this evening. A very unusual Thursday evening stream for you all to keep you captivated while there's absolutely nothing else to do and watch on the TV. It is time for season 13 to get underway. And before we start the racing, the all-important team draw is here and it is live for all of you. So don't forget, hit the like button. Do get involved in the YouTube chat. And we look forward to hearing your thoughts about the teams and where you may be racing next season. We've got 14 drivers with us, all representing different teams, so hopefully we'll see them on track very shortly. But before we start, the man who's, well, one of the two men alongside me is the other half of the M&Ms, and it's great to have him back in the commentary box. Mr. Simba, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Captain Rum. How are you?
I've got one, funnily enough. I got a room, actually, this evening. I was going to do well without one. I thought, you know what? Why not? It is a team reveal. It would be wrong to not, really.
It's so predictable.
I know. Well, you know, it gives the people what they want. I'm just a crowd pleaser.
Not?
Absolute people pleaser.
We might not be crowd pleasers tonight. There's going to be some people happy, but we're going into season 13. Just be happy that you're on the track. You've got a seat. Let's just go and do it.
Yeah, exactly that. And another man joining us this evening who's going to be very busy, but is the boss man himself, and it is Mr. Martin Hills. Good evening.
Good evening, Marky Mark and Marky Mark.
How are you? I don't have a clue what Chris and Carl are doing on track, by the way. That was just a bit of a strange one, but we'll skip past them too. But yeah, are you well, Martin? How are we all?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been a hectic few days getting lots of pretty graphics put together so that everybody has a nice thing to look at. And also, actually, we've, as you know, this is a bit of an overhaul this season. We're actually, think of it as like a soft reboot.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
This is like instead of Simba being Sir Patrick Stewart, he's now being rebooted into a younger, fresher Professor X.
Does that mean he's still got the wheelchair, or just beforehand?
Depends how many of the beers he's got tonight. He's had by the end of this evening, doesn't it? Really?
I'm not as bad as Hodgie here with his rum. I'll still be walking. Right. Don't you worry.
I mean, I can handle it. But I think we better get it. Rather than having an evening talking about alcohol, which is all well and good.
Yeah, this isn't what a college streams.
No. That's a very good point. We've got.
He's just obsessed with bottles. What more can we say?
Yeah, exactly that.
Emptying them and chucking them.
Exactly that one. So welcome to all 32 of you. Hit the like button, folks. Come on, there's only me. It's done that so far. So hit the like button, everyone. Please get involved. Now, so we better really get on with what we came here to discuss and to reveal. And as you sort of said there, Martin, it is an overhaul for season 13. And so we've now got back to 4 tiers. And it's not the standard 4 tiers either, is it?
It is not. We are not. We're going to avoid using tier numbers deliberately this season because it will confuse people. Because the tiers no longer relate to what they used to relate to. So, effectively, what was our entry-level tier last season, tier 3, has become effectively our lowest tier. We've inserted an extra tier and brought all those 4 tiers much closer together now. So basically what we're calling the sport tier this season is basically the same settings roughly as tier 3 was last season. Then going above that, the comp tier has very similar settings to tier 2 last season, and then we've brought the elite and expert tiers, so elite being the top tier, expert being the second tier. They're now very, very similar, just with the only difference being ABS basically. So what we've done when we've created the tiers is not only, as always, have we looked at people's ability, we've also looked at what assists they're currently using, and as everyone here should know, we've asked them what they can use. So we've built this around a combination of both people's ability in terms of skill and also their ability in terms of raw pace as well. So because the tiers are much closer together, that's actually much easier to do now because there's less of a jump between each tier. The biggest jump is still between the third tier and the second tier. So from comp up to expert is the biggest jump, basically. But we will see where everybody shakes out. But suffice to say, the only tier now that has line is the sport tier, the entry-level tier. Going up from that, the other tiers have no line. Elite at the top end is now properly elite, does what it says on the tin. Always felt a bit uncomfortable, didn't we, with the fact that we had something that was called an elite tier that didn't have elite settings. Always felt a little bit odd. So we have finally, after I think about a year of promising to do that, and getting people ready to do that, we are now there.
Yeah, give the people what they want, and we finally have. And so, exactly as you said, it's going to be an interesting one now to see where people sit and how people adapt to some of the new assists between the tiers as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that one plays out. Let's get the show on the road, shall we, gents? And let's make a start with the sport tier. And we're going to make a start with the Alfa Romeo team. And the two pairings this season are, in seat number 1, is Mr. Mike Shaver, also known as Shaver M, or Gillette, or Wilkinson Sword, or a Too Closer Shave. Whichever. This is going to be another long night, isn't it? I forgot about that.
I quite like Lady Shave.
It starts. And joining him in that seat is Mr. Biff 89 MCL, which is Alan McLaughlin in the Alfa Romeo in the sport tier.
That's a good lineup we seem to have there.
It is a good lineup, actually. Yeah. Now the next.
Good to see Biff back as well with us.
Yeah, he took a bit of. Now, so happy days.
So moving on to the Alpha Tauris. I know this is Martin's favourite car.
Certainly is.
Maybe hoping for one himself.
Well, I know that, to be fair, I used to call it the dog doing a jobby. But as the season progressed, it looked a bit less like that. And the new one doesn't really look like a squatting pooch. I've got less of an issue with this design than I used to. Although I have an enormous issue with the name of the stupid team.
Yes.
But
that's
for now,
not
it's
going
still
to be
Alpha
fun in the
Tauri,
next.
We're
It is,
still on
yeah.
F123.
Yes,
It
thank
is
goodness.
not. It's not yet a
an overdraft waiting to happen.
I was going to say a MasterCard, Apple Pay, Red Bull 2.
Yes.
So in seat 1 we have Mr. Matthew Sullivan, which is
we're supposed
Matthew.
to be talking about people, aren't we? I forgot we were talking about people. Sorry.
And in seat 2, sorry if I butcher this name, it's Cillian Saikash, also known as Antoxa.
I think he did a good job with that. And Antok, he's good to have him back as well. And Geke, that's decent pairing if they get on get a good run going. Antox can be very quick.
Those guys are both quick on the day, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, they really, really are. And now
I think this tier's full of people that are quick on the day.
Well,
I think all the tiers are full of people that are quick on the day,
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
It really is. It's so hard to call.
It is, isn't it? And now we're going to the French baton. Hopefully it stays blue and not as pink as it used to be. And the first person in the seat is Chris Jackson, or Spivey CJ, or Spivey, or whatever you want to call him. He is in the Alpine with Terence Tala, which is Triz MBE as well. So that's another good pairing.
Certainly is. So for the Daddy's Cashmobile, also known as the Aston Martin.
I forgot you called it that.
In seat 1, we have another returning driver, actually. Another Scottish guy. It's Danny Hall, also known as RFC Danny.
Welcome back.
Being a Rangers fan, he's going to love the colour of that car. And in seat 2, it is John Raisbeck, also known as Mutsnuts.
I'm glad you started that one because I wouldn't have finished with the nicknames for Mutsnuts. But again, Mutsnuts and Danny both very quick drivers. So that's going to be very, very competitive. And now we're going to the Tifosi, the red of the Ferrari, and what a pairing we have here. There are I better make this quick because this could really turn into butchering. And I don't know if I dare. But the man, the bottle lover, or the bottle thrower himself, Mr. Connor Hardy, is in the red car from Maranello. And joining him is our very own Simon Cowell, the man, the wee little leprechaun. And it is, of course, Kyle Sale, otherwise known as Winky.
Fun fact, Winky is 5'7".
He certainly is, and still taller than Red Car Rambo.
By 2 feet.
It's not hard to be taller than Ryan.
Is Ryan wider than he is tall?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Maybe in attitude.
I've just got this image of him looking like I don't know, like a Lego man, that sort of thing, that sort of shape.
It's the same size.
Do his legs move independently? Does he wear an interesting selection of hats that never fall off?
Yeah, his hair never moves.
No, you're thinking of Bailey.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And moving on to the Haasmobile, the Ferrari customer car, the white Ferrari, whatever you wish to call it. In seat 1 we have John Murray, also known as J. Murr. And in seat 2 we have Simon Croft, also known as, is it Kropfu?
I've never worked that name out. Kropfu 7.
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Ryan's know who he is.
Yeah, Ryan's in the... thanks to everybody for joining in the YouTube chat. Ryan's not amused. He's going to fill us in, apparently.
Don't worry, just stand on a chair. You'll be out of his reach.
Yeah. I think Stu Van appreciates it, though. But let's move on to the papaya of the McLaren team, and we have got quite a new driver in with us. It's Adam Thompson, otherwise known as Adamski, 6788724665. And welcome to him. And I've got one of our very quick drivers. I'm actually surprised he's in the sport tier. I thought he definitely could have been up there in tier 2 as well, to be fair. And it is Anthony Stocco, and Stocco as well in the McLaren team there. So that's a very strong pairing. Very strong pairing, yeah, definitely should be. So will this one actually.
Certainly will. The Mercedes,
who happen to be riding it tandem as well.
Oh,
as we speak.
I've just seen who was in the Mercedes. I'm not surprised they're riding in tandem. They did that all season.
Yeah, pretty much.
So for a second, I thought that was a sex thing for a minute. Sorry, I got very distracted.
Behave yourself, Hills. In seat 1, I'd say it's probably one of our longest standing members nowadays. He's been here quite a while. It is, of course, Kendrick Victor, known as CBG Sambal. Joining him in the black machine, of black and silver as it is for the new version, is Galias Zolt, also known as Shorty_10. previously known as Zola, if I remember correctly.
Ah, yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes. Is that because he likes tea, or is it because he's short?
Well,
I don't understand the name.
Good. No, I don't. Either that or he wants to be someone's shorty if he's American. But
Is he American? I don't think he's
I don't
American.
know. I don't, no.
Maybe he was looking at Ryan when he made his nickname up.
Oh, sick burn.
There's a lot of people who have.
Free.
There's a lot of people who seem to like tea in MRC. I just can't get my head around that. To be honest.
Give me coffee any day.
Exactly.
Just because Mark has rum on his cornflakes every morning doesn't mean the rest of us do.
I'm going to make it law. When I'm in power, I will make it law. So moving on to the other version of the squatting dog, the team who have the least imaginative livery designers ever seen in motorsport.
I don't know. Have you seen the new one? The new one looks completely different. Completely different. Oh no. Sorry, I was thinking of literally every other team.
Yeah, it's completely different to what the Ferrari. Possibly.
It's completely different to the colours that Red Bull actually use on any of their products.
Oh really? Wow, that's a first.
You know those famous Red Bull tins that are bright yellow and blue. Sorry.
Sorry, I was about to announce that I've just seen the YouTube chat. Ryan's come back at Simba, and that's a beaut. He said, have you ever seen Santa vaping? Go and see Simba.
Ho, ho, ho. Difference is, at least you can see me without a box to stand on.
That's absolutely. And I'm glad Mandy said beard's huge at the moment. Thank God you finished that one off. Anyway, moving on. Oh, that's killed me.
I think we started talking about Red Bull about 20 minutes ago.
We did a bit. We did. So, in the first seat is Scotty 1597, or Scott Thompson in the Red Bull. And his compadre, his Sergio Perez, his Alexander Albon, oh, will he triumph? It is Stu Layton, who is known as Smoggy Ghost in the Red Bull.
Another good pairing, to be fair.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I can't really think of a bad pairing here. It really depends how the season pans out.
That's the one.
Who's got the luck on your side? So moving on to the final team on the grid. The historic, the Williams. Of course, some beautiful cars in the 90s, some of the most successful cars as well. So in seat 1 we have Dean Sargent, also known as Dino 1971. And alongside him in the beautiful blue car, it is Simon Hutchin, also known as the Chaos Druid.
He's a relatively new joiner, isn't he?
I believe so, yeah.
And so, to be fair, so Dino's only joined partway through last season, wasn't it?
I think. Sorry, I've just seen YouTube chat again. I need to stop looking at YouTube. He said, for everyone else's benefit, if it rains, Ryan's the last one to know. Oh, we need to move on.
Hopefully it doesn't rain too much, because then he'd be the first one in trouble.
Well, yeah, that's true. Someone get him a snorkel. Moving on to what was... Well, hang on, how are we working this one? Well, it is now called the Comp Tier, which will race on a Wednesday evening alongside the Sport Tier. They will start at 7 o'clock.
It does, and that's basically now the same settings as Tier 2 was previously.
Ah, that's the one. Right, so we'll start back at the top with Alfa Romeo, and I don't have a clue why I seem to circle the Haas, because that's not who I'm looking at. It is Mr. Chris Pratt. There he is, in the beautiful blue and what is going to be luminescent green, as he turns to another stupid name, but we'll skip past that. And it is one of our new drivers, but he's not new to racing. I've raced against him myself, and I know you have, Mr. Simba. It is Liam Stacey, otherwise known as Super Striker 9.
I'm not sure I'd call it racing against him. I'd probably call it sharing a track. He's usually miles ahead of me.
Well, it's going to be up against it though this season.
Because he's dropping the line now, so he's recently gone to a wheel, so he's definitely up against it.
Yeah, certainly isn't it? We know how competitive, well, just MRC and every tier in MRC is in general. And his compadre, his teammate next season is our very own Mini Max. It's Melvin Clark, or just known as Melvin 103105. So that is a good pairing in the Alfa Romeo team.
Certainly is. There's a lot of good pairings in this tier. I can't actually predict who's going to come out on top.
I can predict who's not, but we'll save that for later. I know exactly where I'm aiming that at.
I think I've got a rough idea. So moving on to the Alpha Tauris, the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, whatever they're called these days.
Do you know that the RB in that team name does not actually stand for Racing Bulls? And I'm not even joking.
What does it actually stand for?
It actually stands for Red Bull. Even though their team name is registered as Racing Bulls, which just goes to show what a smegged up team that name is. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it is.
RB officially does not stand for Racing Bulls. And the Racing Bulls thing comes from Dietrich Mateschitz' flying team, which was called Flying Bulls or something, I think, wasn't it?
Because they do the, I can't remember, you call it almost Jim Carner, isn't it? It's the speed air show thing. Yeah,
but that's where Racing Bulls name comes from, is it's like the racing version of that, but the car isn't called an RB for Racing Bulls, and that's official from RB, Google Pay, American Express.
Fair play. So
who
we got?
In seat number 1, we have one of our very quick drivers. He was, I believe, quite up there in the championship last season. Could be a danger for it this season as well. It is, of course, Zach Gwynell, also known as Airways 90. And joining him is another one of our returning drivers. Used to be one of the senior stewards as well. Good to see him back. It is Stuart Vine, also known as Stu Vine.
That's a good team, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Good to have Stu Vine back. And Airways, yeah, you're right. He was monstrously quick end of last season. And to be fair, in the off-season races we've been hosting, he's been very, very quick as well. So that's one to definitely look out for, I think, this season. But then we go down, wrong way, there it is, to the Alpines, and again another decent pairing. We have a driver who is actually no assist. I know he wanted to go to the elite tier, but he's gonna battle up, get the pace that he's got. We know he can have and unlock a bit more potential in this comp tier, and it is Carl Radband, otherwise known as B17 in the Alpine. And his teammate next season is, well, he was former commentator, took a hiatus for a little while, and was quick and is now finding his feet and just getting used to kind of the different feels and the different way the cars are set up now, and it is Mr. Jacob Jones, Fire J Rooster, in the Alpine.
Let's also not forget that Jacob was the Season 4 Tier 3 champion.
I was just about to mention that. When he finds his form, he is very quick.
Certainly is.
That could be one to watch, especially if he manages to find his form this season.
Yeah, no, he's got an awful lot of potential. He's just I think he's not found this game the easiest to sort of adapt to. and I think from what he said, he's kind of looking for a way to get back to where he was. So yeah, we'll be rooting for the Rooster.
Certainly will. And moving on to the Daddy's Cashmobile, of course, the Aston Martin. One of probably the nicest looking cars on the grid, to be fair.
Yeah, has been for a little while. Good colour.
In seat 1 we have one of our longest standing members. I know he's had a little bit of a hiatus at times, but I know he's one of the originals. It is, of course, Avinash Hanneman. Makes a change not to see him in a red car.
Yeah, it does actually for a change. Yeah, it does actually.
And joining him in the green machine, it is Frank Martin, also known as Ghost Rider. Another very strong pairing. It
is a strong pairing, you're right. Yeah, that's going to be a good one as well. Avinash was Tier 4 champion when we had Tier 4 as... I think it's Stu and Baby Hornet playing bumper cars for a little bit, which, to be fair, they don't want to be doing next season. Right, I'm moving off that one. Goodness sake, boys. They don't need to be doing that. But you know when I said there's people that we don't know who could win the championship? It's not these two. I've said it, I'm out there. That's where I was aiming. Had to give them something because the Ferrari boys, Simon Pratt, Baby Hornet and Morgan Stubbs is Stubalicious. And they're now just becoming very well acquainted with each other. I think they may have calmed down in the middle sector. They have for a little bit. But
I'm surprised Simon isn't doing donuts or hitting a wall or something out of excitement that he's finally got his Ferrari.
And his other half in the other seat. Oh, there he goes.
Much.
There he is. He's done it now for us. He was watching.
Well,
but you've had your moment.
He could do donuts now, but he won't be doing donuts as a champion at the end of the season. Just predicting it now.
Yeah. But I tell you what,
the guy in the other Ferrari tonight probably has more chance.
Well, he's coming for you.
Leave the Velcro gloves at home.
Yeah, that's the one.
Moving on to the white Ferrari, also known as the Haas. The team that could maybe see a resurgence this season after getting rid of their long-standing team manager. Let's see. Seat 1, we have... I believe he's known as the Mini Goat because he's related to, of course, Saviour. It's Yannick Newman, also known as Haggerboy. And in seat 2, no doubt I'm going to butcher this name, it is Asad Iqbal, also known as Hefferstaff.
Is that something you prod a cow with?
To be fair, I read that a different way, and I'm really glad that you didn't say it the way I was reading it. As he fast AF.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually what it's supposed to be, but I put a different spin on it.
I like it. No, I think we'll go with that.
I think we'll call him. Cowboy from now on.
Yeah. Definitely. He is. He is not that fast. He is now just the cowpoker. God, we can't really say that with some context, don't we? One of many names we need to say with context.
Definitely.
And now we go to the beautiful papaya of the McLaren team, and I think this is going to be one of the strongest pairings. Well, another very strong pairing. It is the former champ, or the reigning double champ of Aaron White, otherwise known as Wookie the Chewbacca, is with us in the McLaren team, and his teammate is the man who's already in it, and it is Grant Swain, Scottish Ninja, which is a really good pairing.
Is he doing donuts now as well?
No, not quite. He's behaving. He's doing well. He's good.
He'll be loving it. He's a huge McLaren fan.
I think that could be the team to beat.
It's very possible because we know how quick Wookie's been.
Yeah, he keeps pretending that he's not adapting to less assists, and I don't believe him.
I know Grant. Obviously, I race with him quite a bit. When he keeps it on track and doesn't end up in the unlucky incidents that he ends up in, he is mega fast.
Yeah,
He just has the worst luck out of all drivers that I know. I thought my luck was bad till I met him. I swear he could get hit by lightning in the middle of a race.
With weather like we have now.
Literally. So, moving on to the German machine, the Mercedes. In seat number 1, we have the guy who very generously donated the prizes for the draw that Martin will be announcing shortly. It is Ali House, also known as Ali House 007.
and he's not watching this announcement because he's racing elsewhere right now, which made me feel a little bit bad for him. But we will announce those prize draw bits and bobs in a little while.
And in seat 2, it is one of our South African friends. It is Heinrich Smit, also known as Smit F122. Might want to update his username because he's been with us a while now.
He has been with us for a while, yeah.
And that is another very strong pairing as well, I think, between the two of them. It's obviously we know Ali House is getting quicker and quicker all the time, challenging Wookie and challenging Airways. So, and that's going to be incredibly, very interesting to see how the constructors are going to work as well with that one, and who's going to come out on top with there. And Smith again on his day can be a very, very quick driver.
I've just seen YouTube chat.
What, Simon thinks he can go for a title? That's the best joke of the night.
What Mandy put, so Mark and Ryan equals Santa and his elf.
I missed that one. Well, we better go down to the deep energy drinks can. Other better drinks are available. And it is one of our drivers. Yeah, exactly. It is a driver who actually, in the end of last season, raced a little bit and showed a lot of promise. So he's another one to really watch out for next season. It is Alec Klaus. Speaking of Santa. And he, otherwise known, it's easier to say it, is Valentine 94 in the Red Bull. And with him,
Maybe
we
should
have
have announced this yesterday.
I know, I was thinking that. I thought everything you could say about Valentine's just a bit cheesy and corny, and just thought, nah, I'm not even going to go there. But we also have a returning driver who has promised us he's going to behave on track and in Discord, so we welcome him back to see what he can do, and it is JK. It is Dak Convertible in the Red Bull.
He's not going to be happy with that one.
What, with the car? Not a fan?
He's a huge Merc fan. That was his choice when he won the title, that he finally got the Merc.
Oh dear.
But it's a random draw. That's what the wheel gave out, so
it is what it is. To be fair, you sat on top of it, so you don't really see much of it.
Well, you unless you go like a proper driver and sit in the cockpit. Okay. I've got nothing on that. I've got no comeback whatsoever. Yeah, you're a bit outnumbered 2-1 in this chat, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm sitting on top of it like Mr. Bean.
Sunroof drivers.
I can't actually do it. I find it completely bizarre.
It throws me off as well. I'm not used to cockpit now.
Yeah. Feels very odd.
So, in the Williams, I guess we're following Stu Brown for a little bit. In seat 1 we have Christian Evans, also known as Buzz Lightyear. It's Lost Infinity. And in seat 2 we have another returning driver, and literally grabbed a seat a few hours ago. It is Othniel Naidu, also known as DRS Neil. Another one who's taken the No Line Challenge.
Yeah, Neil was competitive when he was with us last time. I know he had a few personal things going on, so he wasn't able to race as much as he wanted, but it's good to have him back and racing with us as well. Now we got to take a step up to the expert tier, which has the same assist.
Message here, Mr. Hodge.
Yep. Let's have a quick look at that one as we ride on board with Stube and see if he keeps it in a straight line. Nope, he doesn't. He missed the corner. Ah, he's watching. He's just a showboater.
Maybe he's quite happy with his new car.
Well, could be. Or his teammate. I think he likes his teammate the best.
Oh, well, it definitely could be.
Yeah, I definitely
I think
it
them two have wanted to be teammates for a while, to be fair.
Well, let's hope we don't have a repeat of sort of your Nico Lewis moments or your Lewis and Massa moments. But we'll start. Well, while we're there, we'll start from the bottom of the expert tier, and it just keeps Martin entertained. It throws Martin a curveball a little bit. But it's easier to say it, because this is dead simple. It is Mr. Single Track and Mr. Simba in the Willy Boys in the expert tier next season.
Yay!
How did you two wangle that one?
How did we wangle that one?
Well, apart from you being the boss and he did half the draw.
by being senior administrators.
That's the one.
Exactly. He's the boss. I did the draws, so there's got to be some perk here.
You either win or you join the senior admin team, and then you get a choice.
Yeah, true.
There's no secrets about it, and it's never been any different.
No, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
To be fair, it's not like we've picked the most popular car on the grid either.
No, we've just picked the prettiest one.
Yeah, it's definitely
that's
one of the
point.
prettiest.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
And the most heritage imbued one.
Yes, 100%. And I think next season's one going with the ditching where the screen is mounted to the chassis, and it's actually going to the wheel mounted screen on the next, I do believe.
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
If it is, then I've gone there a season too early. Because that's always been my biggest gripe with that car, the horrible steering wheel.
Yeah, it is.
I set myself up so I can't see the steering wheel almost from a rig anyway, so it doesn't really bother me.
I think Simba needs a few tips on that one.
Well, you've seen I have my I've got a phone mount on my wheel.
I've got one now. That's
true.
why I can finally manage to go back to the Williams.
But mine's mounted on the wheel, so it turns with the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, that confused me too much.
I've got
Us simple folk like to just look at something static.
Well, I'm going to have to put it
is
off
it
soon anyway.
is it too close from when you're vaping that you just can't see that close in front of you? Is that why?
Possibly. So, moving on to the energy can. The Red Bull, the car that never changes. The only thing we know is it's probably going to be quick. Can these two drivers live up to it, though? In seat one, we have Sam Flanagan, also known as Sam Flan. Now, he is a driver I know to be quick. He's only raced a few times, and he was quite up on the table.
Yeah, he's rapid. He's very rapid.
Joining him, it is Mr. Wustensaus. Himself, it is Bart van Schnitzel, also known as Jackster. But I can't pronounce his name, and that's what everybody says, so I'm just going with it.
Schindel. I'm sure you'll be to be fair, I know you'll love the Red Bull. I know you will. So I think he's going to be a very happy boy.
So of course he will.
Exactly that one.
The wheel has given me 2 seasons in a row. It must be fate for him.
Yeah, that is very true. Very, very true. So we'll move on to the black triangles, and it is... this is a very strong pairing, must say. One of the
champion as well.
It is, yeah. Last season's champion, Mr. Fox River 8 of Jake Card. And with him, the man... I'm not saying anything. Moving on, he was self-titled, and we've taken it away from him. It is Mr. Carl Edens, otherwise known as Bit W in the Mercedes. That is a very good team.
The guy with the name related to a wrestler. BITW 365 was for CM Punk. It stands for Best in the World.
Right, so now we're on season 13, and I've just found that out.
I wish I still understood. Even after you've explained it, I don't understand.
I wish I didn't know.
His picture on PlayStation is, unless he's changed it recently, it was actually the guy that it's for. It's CM Punk.
Right, moving on, because nobody has any idea what that is.
Anybody who watches wrestling will know. I bet Andrew realises.
Oh yeah, Andrew will know.
So, moving on to the McLaren, the Papaya.
Who's in the pit? So we'll focus on Baby Hornet about to get. No, it's not. He might be all right. He might not get shafted this time.
The one we won our constructors with a few seasons ago.
We did.
In season 1, it is one of our fast guys, but just a little scared to drop the ABS, so he's going to have some practice in the expert tier. It is, of course, Jason Sargent, also known as J Sarge. And joining him is a guy who's on track tonight as well. He's taking up the no-line challenge. We know he can be quick when he gets it, so it's Thomas Bell, also known as Captain Nibs.
I reckon that's a pretty rapid pair of drivers in that team.
Yeah, I do. Mr. ERS himself, J Sarge and Captain Nibs is going to do, I think, really strong pairing as well. And then both we're moving on to the Haasmobiles, who both typically in the pits, having a breather. And it is, another very quick driver. Had a championship hunt a couple of seasons ago and has still looked very, very solid since. Mr. Eddie Driver, otherwise known as Eddie Dust, in the Haasmobile. And the man whose name I seem to butcher every time I say it, so it's Schalke van der Sand, otherwise known as CLSD Spam. It's the tin of Spam.
I tend to go for SDS Drill.
I've got one of those. Oh, they're very sexy, aren't they?
I prefer tin of Spam. I don't know. That was it. I'm sticking with the Spam.
Well, we get plenty of spam in the email inbox at times.
Well, that is very true. I think we're actually looking at the YouTube chat. A lot of WWE fans in here. Evening Dean as well, Mr. Dynamite. Good to have you with us. Again, folks, don't forget to hit the like button.
That know what I was on about.
Yeah, we've got Avanash, we've got Monster, we've got Chaos Druid, and just those. That's it.
There's probably others.
Probably. Avanash also says they call Schalke spam. Just Schalke. Sorry, Schalke. We'll just call him Schalke. Yes.
Team Donkey.
There he is. It's Simon.
the clowns of the pit lane. In seat number 1, it's a guy who we know is very fast and has driven in this car before. I'm sure he was in it when I first joined. It's Thomas Fanning, also known as Fanning in 1989. And alongside him, it is Alexander Weiser, which is Gattian 93. Another very strong pairing.
It is very strong. Fanning got, I think he won in Vegas, and he was very close a couple of times in other races as well last season. Gattian, we know, is a very, very quick driver as well. That is a very, very strong pairing. They're going to complement each other very, very well, I think, next season.
This is going to be a very squeaky tier, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Do you want to do the next one as well?
Certainly can. It is, of course, Daddy's Cashmobile. The Green Machine. We all know why I'm doing this, because, of course, Mr. Hodgson is there again.
I am third season with the team, last season with the team. Hopefully go out with a bang and not into a wall this time.
I'm glad you're correct. I'm glad you put that bit in there.
I knew you were one of you were going to.
Or is the team going to implode?
Into a wall, maybe, yes.
Haven't you had this driver as a teammate before?
We've not been teammates, I don't think, before, no.
McLaren season 9?
Yeah, I thought you were as well.
Oh, we might have been, actually.
You was, actually, because I was in the Ferrari that season.
Oh.
As was I.
And it was season 10 we teamed up in the McLaren and won the title.
Very true. Very true.
So yeah, you have had him as a teammate. It is, of course, Andrew Maund, also known as Monster 89.
I'm sure he won't take that personally at all, Mark. It's fine.
He
I'm sure
knows,
Andrew
man.
won't be even slightly insulted that you've completely blanked all memory of spending 3 months racing alongside him.
And I won the championship as well.
Yeah, it's all about you. It's all about you.
He helped me a lot as well that season. To be fair, we've known each other a few years now, so he knows that I've got a memory like a sieve. And to be fair, it's going to be a good one for Andrew. He's dropped traction control for the first time, so to be fair, he's made some good progress with it. Really, really good progress. I practiced with him the other night, so he's going to be competitive, I think, this season is Andrew. So I'm looking forward to being his teammate again.
Now you've remembered.
You've been looking forward so much to returning to working alongside him, haven't you? You were telling me that yesterday. I remember you saying that very specifically.
Exactly. So he told you my memory was bad.
So, do you want to give us the baton team?
I
Frenchies.
do. Where is he? There he is, Mr. Carl Edens. It is... Wow, what a team this is. It is one of our quicker drivers. He has been Tier 1 in the past, and he is in the expert tier. It is Mr. Sander Hosman, otherwise known as S. Hosman, or the leaky hose pipe on certain occasions, if I'm in the commentary box. And with him is Mr. Rob Smith, which is a very strong pairing. Of course, Sander just missed out, didn't he, on the title last season? And I'm sure he's going to be gunning for it again to beat Jake.
I think he's definitely one to watch.
Yeah, he is. Very, very quick.
So that moves us on to the AlphaTauris. And first up we have another driver who's come down from what was Tier 1. Obviously, same settings now. So we'll join the expert tier is Nick Bannon-Thomas, also known as Nick BT. And alongside him we have another returner. Don't think I've seen his name for a few seasons now, but it's good to have him back. And I'm probably going to butcher his name just as a welcome back. It is Damien Dlugos,
Is it
also known as
Dlugos?
Damalek.
Is it Dlugos? Wasn't there? I think there was a DJ called Boris Dlugos, wasn't there?
I ain't got a clue.
Pretty sure it was.
I'm probably too young for that.
He didn't do wrestling intros, so Mark wouldn't know. But no, you're right, Damo, to having Damien back, that's awesome. He was such a great driver, and and so is Nick as well on the day. That's going to be a really nice pair in that one.
Certainly is.
And then the final team in the expert tier, it is the Alfa Romeos, and the man who's been with us another long time as well. One of our stronger drivers, it is Ilyan Maximov, otherwise known as Womax, in the Alfa Romeo. And alongside him is Mr. Nick Das, otherwise known as Krusty T, or the Krusty Tea Bag, or Tetley's, or just another coffee lover.
Does that mean he's got one of those steering wheels that you can push backwards and forwards? Wasn't that Das?
That was Das, that's it, yes. That Red Bull suddenly kicked up a fuss about because they didn't think about it first.
Yeah.
That one, yeah. Because they didn't think about it, it broke the
pretty much what
rules.
every team does, isn't it?
To be fair,
we
they
didn't
all
think
do
of that. Let's complain about it and find out if it's legal.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, have you seen that stuff about the Mercedes front wing and people questioning its legality? And but there's also a few technical pundits out there who are saying they think it might actually be a deliberate sacrificial part to take attention away from something else that's on the car.
It's highly
Well, that's
possible.
interesting.
But yeah, it's very weird. Very weird.
So
Right, that's
I guess
interesting,
that
that one.
moves us on to our top dogs, the elite tiers, the fast guys, the no assisters, the Agonis of this world.
The people who need to slow down and give us all the chance. Those people.
Yeah, pretty much.
Agoni and Saviour now have 10 championships between them.
That's
That is
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
10.
I mean, I know some of them were back-to-back double headers, just as Wookie did last season with MRCX.
Yes, Sabi did it in season 7.
But still 10. We're only on season 13.
Well, what's Sabi got? 6?
Yeah.
So that's 5 seasons he's walked away with the title.
Well, yeah, you did a double, didn't he, in...
Season 7.
I was going to say 7, yeah. So, it's
He was the first
ridiculous.
one to do it, and I did it in season 8. Then I believe it was Kaiser Soze and Wookie were the only 4 that have done the double so far.
Well, the thing with Saviour is that he might be talented, but that doesn't mean you're a nice person, does it? But unfortunately, he also seems to be just about the nicest person in the league as well. So
he's a lovely person.
He really is. He is.
If he's got a problem, he messages us so politely. He's like, "I want to talk to you about this. I don't like it or whatever." Instead of ranting your ear off.
Yeah,
he's incredibly supportive of everybody and extremely involved in what goes on. And it's a pleasure to have him here.
It always is. And so let's make a move into this Elite T. Only 9 minutes left already. Crikey heck. And we've got the prize draw as well to go. Hopefully some of these drivers will stay for the qualifying session afterwards. But in the Alfa Romeo, we have a friendship duo of Mr. Calvin Mack, or BRD Calvin Zoo. Calvin's got a bird, and Calvin's probably flipping me the bird soon, if I keep on going. But it
the zoo that ran away.
The zoo that ran away, that's the one. And speaking of zoos, well, let's go and pick him up. It is the cockle picker himself. It's Kyle Bergen in the other Alfa Romeo. Oh, Saviour's enjoying the kind words. He's going to tear up. Come on, mate. They're just going to make us like you even more. You can't do that. That's... yeah.
And we have next up the Alpha Tauris. In seat 1 we have another former champion, very, very quick on his day. Hopefully he's coming back to form because he will be hopefully give Hagoni some hell. It is of course Dean Lawrence, also known as Kid Dynamite. And joining him in the Alpha Tauri is one of the fastest guys from our Tier 2 last season, was right in the title hunt till he couldn't make the last round. It is Doron. I ain't got a clue how to say that. It's Doris, of course.
He's in the YouTube chat. Doran, please tell Mr. Simba how to pronounce your surname. It's just Doran Shea. I think it's pronounced Shea. I think. I do believe.
Well, he's a very, very rapid guy.
He is. Just C. There we go. Thank you,
There
Doran.
we go. There's the answer. It's Doron C.
Yeah, that's the one. Right, and now we're going to the front baton of the Alpines, and a really good partnership. Again, two quite nice guys, actually, as well, so this is going to be really, really good. Sam Flan, I can see you popping up in Discord. It is random. A couple of people, the administrators, commentators, the people who give a lot of time and effort to the league, they get a multiple choice. And we tried to give them one of their choices of teams, just because obviously we give a lot of time and effort and don't get much for it, to be perfectly honest. A bit of abuse, but that's just when Martin hasn't had his cup of tea in the morning.
Coffee, thanks. Coffee.
Oh, on your fancy machine, of course.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. If you are part of the management team, you do get regularly bored with pictures of my latte art that I do at home.
We haven't had any of that for a while, to be fair.
Well, yeah. Well, my coffee machine was broken for 6 weeks. It's back now. It's. I
bet that was torture.
It was. I was almost in tears.
Not surprised with that one. But yeah, we did say a couple of nights. So yeah, that is why some people have got the cars they've chosen, and some people have. It is completely random. For that one. So the Alpines, as Carl goes into the pits, it is Steve Jarman, Mr. Kaiser Soze, who's currently in the AlphaTauri on track at the moment, and one of our very quick drivers, and he is new to the commentary team, so you will actually get to hear him at some point next season. It is Neville Harris, otherwise known as the Chetty Donald Duck. Or just Chatty Duck. And so that is a very good pairing indeed. So yeah, that is going to be really, really good to see. I would have looked at the Aston Martin next, but unfortunately Captain Nibs has left the session. So we'll go on board with Calvin flipping me the bird.
Fair enough. In the Daddy's Cashmobile, we have one of our fastest guys, who I believe will be thrilled he hasn't got an AlphaTauri or an Alpine this time. It is, of course, Reese Whitcomb. And joining him in the green machine, it is, well, the other half of the Hornets. Whether he's the dumbest one or not, I'll leave that up to you guys. It is Chris Pratt, also known as Dumbest Hornet.
I think he's the older of the Hornets. He's not the baby. I don't know if he is the dumbest or not.
He's the one that gets around more corners at Monaco.
That way.
as in more than none.
Yeah, one of them. Just one.
Any number greater than 0 would win in that competition.
The funniest part is it's the other Hornet that set the event up, and that is out by turn 1.
I didn't actually have a chance to watch it at the time. I only watched it back yesterday, and wow.
That's the best word for it.
Just
wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think really he never wanted to race it, so he just gave up and went on the comms instead.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't his idea to do Monaco. That might have been mine.
Was it your idea to do simulation damage and mixed weather as well?
No, I think that might have been Mr. Hodgson who suggested simulation damage.
No, I did not. I did not have anything to do with Monaco.
I'm sure you did.
I think that was
You
Bailey.
threw in all sorts of ridiculous suggestions because you knew you weren't taking part.
I'm sure it was Chris Bailey. I'm hoping it was Chris Bailey. I'm putting it on Chris Bailey. It was Chris Bailey now. It was definitely Chris's fault.
Yeah, well, he's not here to argue his case, is he? So definitely it's him.
Exactly. That's the one. We'll go now to the Raris of Maranello, and this pairing is... Well, I know one of them is going to be very, very, very happy. One of them probably isn't.
When you say probably, do you mean absolutely, positively, definitely isn't?
Oh, absolutely over the moon.
Well, let's put some perspective on this. The guy does get choices because of helping out the league.
Yes. And
this was on the list.
Yeah, the other one gets the choice because he is a multi-time champion. It is Damiano Ugioni who takes the Ferrari once again, the Italian maestro in his home team. And the other gentleman joining him has got the stepladder out to get into the car, and it is... Sorry.
Is it like someone getting into an X-wing fighter up a flight of stairs? Right, okay.
That doesn't give it away. It is Mr. Ryan Barber going to be partnering Ugioni, the maestro, in the Ferrari. And luckily he's in the sort of Ferrari tonight.
Well, to be fair, yesterday I saw
He's already
Ryan,
doing donuts. I think he is actually quite happy with that.
I saw Ryan make a comment in chat that was the most positive thing about a Ferrari I think I've ever heard him say. After the launch, he said, "That looks all right, to be fair."
In fairness, that is a very positive thing in general from Ryan.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Although, while we're on Ryan, let's get the Haas announced.
Let's.
Yeah.
So in seat number 1, one of our faster drivers again, recently returned, it's Hilbert Borger, also known as Erapel. And joining him in the Haasmobile, it is Lawrence Fortes, also known as Lorpy76.
That's a team that could could grab a lot of points. Maybe not through always being the fastest, but from being very consistent.
Yeah, always there. Well, to be fair, so could this team as well. He's in the pits. Typical. And it is the papaya of the McLarens, and it is Mr. Nice Guy himself. It's Alex Jasecki. Mr. Goat, it is. It's Saviour in the McLaren, which I know you'll be thrilled with that one. I know he is a fan. So he's been there a couple of seasons, hasn't he now, I think, Saviour? No, he's definitely there. Yeah, I think it's going to be happy with that one. Yeah, Ryan and Damiano, very happy to be partners at Ferrari in the YouTube chat. The partner and saviour next season is our resident Qatari, Mr. Alex Edric, in the other papaya seat. And that's another one that could grab a lot of points.
Mercedes, the Black Triangles, it is the reigning Constructors Champions. In seat 1 it is the blowhole Chris Bailey, and in seat 2 it is Anthony Huxley Nato, also known as Anton YX97.
They're talk about fixers. And to be fair, they're good friends as well, aren't they? That is a very strong pairing, as we know, like you said, Constructors Champions last time out.
Yeah,
speak of the Devils.
That team is we've got a team there where you've got probably someone who's going to chase the Drivers' Championship and someone who's going to be second.
So Chris is second then, yeah?
I didn't say that. That's very mean.
I swear it's his favourite position.
Well, I've heard.
0.011.
I think, to be fair, Chris is driving faster and better than I've ever seen him drive, and it's coming.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And I think there's a lot of good tracks this season as well that are competitive tracks. And
they're both doing donuts on the pitch straight.
Oh, yeah, we've been on them for a little while. We'll just leave them. Happy with that one.
It's like they're doing a little romantic dance together, isn't it?
I mean, to be fair, thank God the ghosting, because let's not go down that route, actually. I knew I was going to go with that, and I'm not going to go down that route. So I'll leave it to people's imaginations. So 2 more teams left. We've got the Red Bull, and in the Red Bull is, actually, I'm sure it was there last season. I should know. I had enough fights with him. And it is Ben van den Emster, which is the man with the MSN, Hotmail, Love Heart, Roses, Kisses, XX, G-Star, Snipes, Roses, Kisses, Love Heart, Winky Face, XX name. And his partner is just another very, very fast driver, and it is Seppi Dilkins, otherwise known as SW3582, and that is a very good team.
Certainly is. And our final pairing of the night, it is the Williams boys, of course. In seat number 1 we have Stefan Rack, also known as LRL HSV fan. And in seat 2 it is Fabian Scholten, also known as Era Voice.
That's a good team. To be fair, I'm struggling to pick out of all 4 tiers a weak team other than the Ferrari in tier 3.
Possibly that Williams in the expert tier.
Nah, that's fine. I just called it tier 3 as well. I'm in trouble already. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, disciplining.
Yes, I get conduct points. So in the comp tier, the Ferrari is a baby Hornet and Stube. Well, fair enough. No, but they are very strong parents, and we've got such a strong league and such a competitive league. You know, we've got people we've seen in the off-season who are in technically the comp tier or the sport tier, really mixing up, fighting with the guys in the elite tier in many of the races that we've had. So it is going to be a very, very strong season in Season 13. And like we say, a lot of good tracks. We're under the lights of Bahrain in only, tomorrow, actually, for MRCX. And then just a lot of fast tracks, a lot of classic tracks. Japan, Silverstone, we go to both the Italian circuits with Belgium, Spain's in there, and a lot of well, the newer circuits, Qatar, very fast, of course, as well, and Jeddah's in there as well. So it's going to be a good season, I think, this one.
It is. I just we have one last order of business as well, don't we?
We certainly do.
Certainly do.
So I'm going to drop the winners of the prize draw into the general chat as we talk about this. What I would like to say is we raised a phenomenal amount of money. Just a preposterous amount of money, and there was a lot of people that got involved. There were some people who were incredibly generous. I know that Scott, who we sort of dedicated that event to, and who chose the charity for it, is absolutely delighted with how it went as well. And I know that he will want me to thank everybody who was involved in it. Now, we actually managed to raise, believe it or not, £910.
Wow. Really? That's insane.
910 quid in basically 5 days, that was.
That's incredible.
We had another tenner come in after, so that was the 10. But yes, £910 from that event that we ran, which will go to Macmillan Caring locally, which is a nursing and palliative care charity who look after people who are suffering from cancer-related illnesses, and that is a charity which is very close to Scott's heart, and a very, very worthwhile cause, and one which I know from having that event happen that night, so many people within the league contacted me to say that they too had actually been directly affected by cancer, either themselves or parents or partners, and lots of people have actually had contact with this charity as well, so it's definitely something which was very close to a lot of people's hearts. So what we obviously did also have was we had a prize draw, which the prizes for which have been very kindly donated by Ali House. There is a runners-up prize, which is a fully customised karting display tyre, which basically is half a kart tyre cut in half, basically vertically, with a plate mounted in it, which is customised with the league name and your tag on it, for example, so your name on it. And that mounts on your wall. That's the runners-up prize, and Ali will make that himself for whoever has won the runners-up prize. The main prize is a phenomenal one, which is a signed 13-inch by 9.5 inch, which is, if you're a European person, 33 centimetres by 24 centimetres, wall display signed by Lewis Hamilton. Back from his glory days. I can't quite work out, what year is that? 20, I'm gonna guess 17. Anyway, yeah, so that's worth quite a lot of money, I would imagine, and that is our first prize. Now, what happened was, everybody, in the end, what we decided to do was that we gave everybody who made a donation an entry into the prize draw. So not just ticket buyers, but everybody, because there were so many people that gave so generously before we announced those draw prizes, because Ali donated them after we'd already started fundraising. So we decided to let everybody who donated have a ticket, basically. So you got one ticket for a £5. If you bought 4 tickets, you got an extra one free. Suffice to say, there is somebody who donated enough money that if we hadn't topped it out at 10 tickets, one person was generous enough that they would have got 65 tickets, which is bonkers.
It is. And he is such a giving, a kind person. Anyway, we give him a lot of stick. I'm not going to reveal. I don't think he wants us to reveal, and I don't think we should. But he is such a nice guy and so thoughtful of others all the time. So yeah, hats off to him.
The reason I mention this is because basically, he had the right to so many tickets that it would have probably ended up that he would have won both prizes. So what we've done is we've maxed it out at 10 tickets for any one person. And a lot of people had between 5 and 10 tickets, so that's pretty reasonable. And I can announce that, believe it or not, despite doing that, we managed to get 2 different winners. So nobody cleaned up and took both of them. So the first prize of the Hamilton wall display goes to Red Car Rambo, and the runners-up prize of the customised karting tile wall art goes to Bergen.
Awesome. I bet Ryan is definitely over the moon with that one.
And yeah, we've just dropped that in the Discord so that you can see that as well. But yeah, that was drawn earlier on. There were, I can't remember how many entries I said there were. Now, 100, I think it was like 153 tickets, I think.
Wow.
No one had more than 10, and those were the 2 winners that got drawn out of the hat.
Well, Ryan deserves the top prize, to be fair, with the amount he donated.
He's just a kind guy, isn't he? Just very, and I know he'll love that. He really will. I know he'll be absolutely over the moon. But there we are, folks. We have given you all 4 tiers, and everybody knows who they're driving for and where they're driving and who they're driving against. And we'll tell Stube and Baby Hornet which direction they're driving after this. And but yeah, we will be on track for MRC X Action 7:30 tomorrow evening under the lights, round 1 in Bahrain, and then we'll be there on Monday evening from 7 p.m. where Tia, I'll rephrase that, near the other tiers, which is number 2, but I still said it wrong. Anyway,
Expert tier.
Thank you. I'm going to get this so wrong.
Expert tier will be at 7 o'clock Monday. Elite will be at 8:45.
Thank you. Don't forget, folks, if you're watching this live, hit the like button, please. If you're watching this back later on, please still hit the like button and share it. And we look forward to seeing you in less than 24 hours' time. But it is to say a quick thank you to my helping hands this evening, keeping me right and keeping me sane. Just about. It is Mr. Hills and Mr. Dennison. Thank you very much, gents.
Not a problem. It's always a pleasure.
But yeah, always is. About 3 times a year that we do this. So.
It is, I know it is. And a lot of work goes into all this. So thank you to all of the administrators, the stewards, the commentators, and of course the senior members who have really helped us and made all of this possible for us to go racing so quickly as well for season 13. But we hope you can all join us, of course. As always, if you haven't subscribed, please hit the bell and you will get notifications of when we go live. But from us this evening, we will finally be quiet and stop deafening you and giving you really stupid jokes. But thank you very much and good night, everybody.
See you later.
Night.